Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. So this time round I wanted us to make some gluten-free chapatis using cassava flour. And I must admit this was my first time trying it and it turned out fine. Besides the shape, you'll see it at the end. Everything else turned out fine. So the thing about these cassava flour chapatis is that they have a lot of work. The process is quite lengthy, but the end product is healthy and quite yummy. So the first thing you do is you mix the ingredients, of course. You'll put the ingredients. You need some vegetable oil, you need the cassava flour, you'll need some salt, you'll need some sugar, and some water. I'll put the quantities somewhere above. So the first thing you do is you mix the salt and the sugar into the cassava flour. Unachanganya, you mix it. Then once that is well mixed, you put your vegetable oil. Then you add your water. Next, you unachanganya, you make the dough. And one mistake I did with this dough is that I put little water. I only realized it later. And you're going to see in the next steps why I'm saying that you may need to put a little more water than I did. So mix the dough until it stops sticking to your hands. That's when you know that it's ready. Then next, you'll make 12 small balls of that dough. Once you've made the balls, next you're going to prepare some water. Put it on the heat. Once it has boiled, put the balls into the water. Let the balls boil for about 5 minutes. Now, another mistake I did with this is that the person who recommended the recipe I was using told me that if you let it overboil, it backfires. So I was a little bit skeptical to the point that I removed them before they had boiled enough. So in fact, the recipe that was recommended to me was talking about letting it boil for about 3 minutes only. But since I was using cassava flour from the mill, ile ya kisiagi, of course, which means it's harder than it's not harder, it's rough. Is it rough? Yeah, it's not as smooth as the other one which has been packaged. So that's why it needed to take some more time. The reason you first boil this dough is so that it can get a sticky feeling, since this is a gluten-free flour. And the gluten in the wheat flour, for example, is what gives it that sticky feel. Yeah. So that's the reason you boil it fast. So once it has boiled for about 5 minutes, you realize that it's ready when it starts cracking. Yeah. When you notice that it has started cracking, the balls have started cracking, that's when you realize that it's ready. Then remove the balls, set them aside, let them cool for a minute or two. Then you don't let them cool completely, because again now it's going to be hard for you to knead the dough. So knead the dough once again If you need to add a little flour, you can go ahead and do that. If you need to add a little water, if the dough is too hard, very little water, you can go ahead and do that as well. Then once your dough is now not sticking on your hands, you know that it's ready. Now on this one, the mistake I made is that since I put a little water at the beginning, the dough after boiling the balls was quite hard. So that means the end product, you'll see when I'm rolling next, it was a little bit hard for it to give you a circular chapati. But then again, who said that chapatis have to be round? Yeah. So after that, make about 10 balls, depending on the quantity of flour of the dough that you have. But for me, I made 10 balls. And after that, of course, you roll and put it in the pan. And from there, you keep checking. Once it has started to brown, you will know when it is well cooked because it will brown evenly around. Weka mafuta, put your vegetable oil on the side that has browned. Turn your chapati, let it brown as well. Put some vegetable oil on it, on the pan that is under the chapati. And voila, your chapati is ready. So I can assure you that regardless of the shape of this chapati, they were over within 5 minutes. They were completely over. They were very sweet, very, very sweet. And I must admit that cassava flour is quite nutritious and is also very yummy. So I wish you all the best as you're making your cassava flour chapati. And if you make one, let me know in the comment section how they turned out. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.